Hiya, welcome to Helena's Health Hike, my YouTube channel where I am vlogging my whole health journey. If you've seen the other ones, I have got both types of lupus, Sjogren's, psoriasis, psoriatic arthritis, hypothyroidism, neutropenia, just to name a few. So yeah, I'm trying to just beat the stigma. I'm fed up with the stigma surrounding invisible illnesses that just makes our lives so much harder. So I'm trying to beat that by being transparent about my journey, answering any questions that anyone has, so that those that don't have a condition, an invisible illness, can educate themselves on what it's like for a day-to-day basis, but also so those who do have an invisible illness like me can get some comfort knowing that they are not alone. So today's one is just a very quick one. It's about chronic fatigue. Now I'm 25 and I really struggle with fatigue. It is exhausting, excuse the pun, but it's exhausting, and you wake up every day and you go, oh, I feel great, I feel wonderful, I can do this, I can do that, oh, I can seize the day. And I'm a really productive, go kind of person. So for me to have chronic fatigue as a kind of side condition of lupus really hit me hard, and I have really struggled to kind of come to terms with it, but also to learn how to manage it. I've tried to just push through it. I've tried to just ignore it and just go, no, I'm just going to yawn and carry on. And actually, as a result, I've then ended up having flare-ups or made myself really ill and made myself have colds and flu and all this sort of stuff, where it's then knocked me out for a good half a week, 2 weeks, because of my neutropenia and my other autoimmune conditions. It makes me more vulnerable to picking up infections, but it also makes it more difficult to actually then get over the infections and to fight it, because my immune system is weakened. So it means that basically my body is fighting itself. In a very simple terms, my body is fighting itself. So it's constantly exhausted because there's a constant fight. It's like my body is running a marathon even when I'm just sat down doing nothing. So I find it really difficult to socialize, because I can't really plan ahead. I can't really go, oh hey, yeah, why not this weekend? Why don't we go out on Saturday night? That'd be really nice, and just have a nice dinner and then a catch up with friends and maybe go out for a drink or two. I can't really plan that, because when I have in the past, I've then got to that Saturday and felt completely exhausted. The chronic fatigue had hit in, but I tried to push through it. I didn't want to let my friends down. I didn't want to be sat as a 25-year-old on my sofa in a flat by myself on a Saturday night, knowing that all my friends were outside and having fun and socializing, and I felt like I was just going to get left behind and I was going to get forgotten because I couldn't keep up with my friends and I couldn't keep up with my social life. And as a result, it gave me anxiety over that, because I was trying to push myself through the fatigue, but actually as a result, I wasn't really being present in that event. I wasn't really being present at that dinner. I wasn't really being present on that night out, or I fall asleep in the cinema all the time. I don't care if the film that's on is wonderful. I just fall asleep. It's just something about having chronic fatigue. I just really struggle, and I've tried to take advice from other people who have chronic fatigue, who, if they've got something going on in the evening, they'll take a nap during the day, or they'll maybe come back from work a little bit earlier. Luckily, I work for myself, so I can very much control that, and I really don't envy people who have chronic fatigue, who are having to do a 9-to-5 working day job, because not many bosses understand. There are a few who, do understand and are very kind and patient and understanding with the whole thing, but there are some people that don't understand, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. So many people out there, so many people will suffer with chronic fatigue. You don't necessarily have to have an invisible illness to have chronic fatigue. Chronic fatigue is a thing on its own, but so many invisible illness conditions, one of the side effects of the medication or of the condition itself is chronic fatigue. So I guess I just wanted to say that you just need to, as always, try and be kind to yourself. Now I'm saying that and I'm not very good at doing that. It's much easier for me to say that than to do it. And it is something that I'm really trying to get to grips with myself. And sometimes I get it wrong. And sometimes I misjudge where that line is. I'm still trying to figure out when it's chronic fatigue and when I'm just being a bit lazy, or just, you know, having a bit of an anxiety moment and I'm a bit worried about going out because I'm worried that I'm not going to be present, or I'm worried that I'm going to feel so exhausted that I can't enjoy the night, or I'm worried that my friends are going to think I'm being boring, etc. All of that worry actually makes it worse and makes the fatigue come on thicker and stronger, I find personally. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to find that line, and I do get it wrong, and that's okay. I have to get it wrong in order to know where the line is and what is what. So for those of you that do have chronic fatigue or an invisible illness, I really hope that this has encouraged you to be kind to yourself and to obviously push yourself. You don't want to just be sat inside doing nothing, because we all deserve to live as much of a normal life as possible. I hate that term, but we deserve to, you know, live the same as everyone else and be able to do whatever we want to do. But I hope it's brought you some comfort that you're not alone. And for those of you that don't have an invisible illness or don't have chronic fatigue, I hope this has given you a little bit of insight into what it's like for us mentally as well as physically, and the worries and the anxiety that comes around from it. And maybe just going forward, maybe you could chat to people that have got chronic fatigue and find out what they would like, and maybe give them some comfort. If it's a friend of yours, give them comfort knowing and reassure them, saying that, you know, you like to hang out with them, you want to hang out with them, that, you know, you don't necessarily have to plan far in advance. You can plan a little bit sooner, you know, maybe in the next day or 2 days in advance rather than a whole week or a half a year. As always, if anyone has got any questions, please do feel free to comment below or message me via Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'd love to connect with you all and have a chat. It is through chatting and through talking to you all and answering any questions that we are able to really beat the stigma together. So I hope you all have a wonderful week and enjoy.